Hello everyone, this is Manjari Maloj and you're watching my YouTube channel Insani Hub, which aims to invoke a little bit of humanity in all of us through awareness and understanding. So I actually had the opportunity and I just come across this podcast which was on a different channel. It is actually in Urdu and it is by two Pakistani young men, and this is about a person who is a transgender person. So the conversation varies on different topics in regards to transgender and the LGBTQ identifications and why people have these gender identities, about femininity, about masculinity, and all in between. So there were actually two podcasts that I listened to, and that is last night. So I was referred to this thing. Okay, I'll just not mention, but I was referred to by somebody that I know in regards, and the real reason that I listened to that the question or the thought in discussion was that Pakistan has more acceptance for transgender men and gay people because they are somewhat are a little bit identified as masculine, as men, but Pakistani law or Pakistani is not acceptable for women. Like the question point was that Pakistani law and Pakistani men sort of give rights to transgender men or gay men and do not give the liberties or freedoms to women. So the point of discussion was to discover this, and this person referred me, look at how this person is speaking and everything. But when so there is this women's march which happened, and it is widely criticized, and but this person as a child, then the entire podcast, I realized that transgender men have suffered a lot also in Pakistan. Like this person sort of highlights that how they are brutally murdered and raped and stuff. But then again, the whole thing, the point of discussion was that what is the whole thing, and then the whole narrative of sexuality and stuff. I must admit, very heavy podcast, these two, and if somebody wants to listen, I actually don't want to put those in my on my YouTube, in my description box. Reason being that it affected my mental health as a woman, as a feminist, as not just feminist. Again, the feminist, for me, being a feminist means I love my femininity, I love being a woman, and I also respect the masculine energy and the masculine for what masculinity is. I strongly feel both feminine and masculine energies, and the whole concept has to be in harmony with each other. I don't understand the term toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. I don't. I think feminism is beautiful, and feminism for me is to appreciate being a woman. And that does not mean you necessarily hate masculinity. Masculinity has its own role. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, and I appreciate it. And I am like I just feel that both masculinity and femininity shouldn't be over sexualized, and it shouldn't be all about sex, or sexual expressions. It is how we are, and we should be comfortable in who we are. That's for me it is. So in that context, I am feminist, I am masculinist, I am humanist. So yeah, I definitely appreciate two genders and gender differentiation. Now, in regards to LGBTQ, honestly and fairly, I would say I should be the last person if I can comment on saying that Scottish people, Irish people should be the last ones criticizing Israel, or even speaking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. I think I should mention that I should be the last person talking about LGBTQ, or gender spectrums or gender differentiations. For one, I don't I don't have any interest in that. I'll be honest, because of the kind of person I am. For me, I think it is highly, highly offensive, rude, disrespectful that you intrude in people's lives, which are specifically very, very personal and are restricted to their bedrooms. So I am not the kind of person who wants to know what your sexual orientation is, what you do in sex, what you identify as sexual, whatever that means. So for me, whatever happens in your bedroom, it should be consensual. I would not, if I see somebody dragging some minor, or a woman or a man or anyone dragging someone to have forceful whatever, rape or whatever, I would call the police. If I have the means, I would threaten that person and try to save the person being who is a victim. Definitely, if it's a child, I would even make all the efforts. Literally, I would just pull out a gun and just threaten that person and get that child to some place safe or whatever. So that's a very, very sensitive thing for me. Children, I mean, my mind does not process this whole idea that how can adults sexualize children. I don't understand. This is something, this concept, I mean, I can wrap my brain around and have like peace. Okay, people are gay, people are lesbian, people are transgender, bisexual, whatever they are. That I can wrap my way. Okay, people have biological issues, emotional issues, personality, whatever. That I can wrap my brain around somewhere to a certain extent. But people who are pedophiles, people who sexualize children, I think people who are pedophilic or pedophiles, they shouldn't even be put behind bars. They shouldn't exist in. I mean, sexualizing children, it's just not my. I can't understand that. I just can't understand that. So I'm sensitive towards it and everything. Apart from that, whatever you do in your bedroom, that's your personal thing, and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to know it. I don't want to whatever. So I think people generally should have this restrictive, this mentality that they should respect people's privacy in their bedrooms. I think that is a big cause and reason for the world going chaotic and crazy and violent, because we do not respect people's privacy in terms of their intimate lives, what happens in their bedroom, and people who are in the bedroom and having this intimate closeness and relationship, even they don't have respect for the acts that they do, or the relationship they. The other day, my brother was watching this. Okay, so the point was that I was telling my younger siblings, my sister and my brother, that I make this video, at least you guys should watch it, and you guys should subscribe to my channel and listen to, I actually say very good things. And my brother was like, who's gonna listen to your cramp when I'm listening to this Amber and what is that, the guy, Johnny Depp's trial, live trial. So I said, and I was shocked that this trial actually happens like live, like people have there is this some channel which broadcasts this whole the lawsuit which is going on. For me, I mean, it's such a sad. I actually, he was actually watching that, and he said, look at this, this is very interesting thing is happening, and you want me to leave this and listen to your cramp? I'm never gonna do that. And I said, oh my god, this is happening. And they're calling out their friends, their mutual friends, and their colleagues and whatnot and what it. And I said that they are, and my brother was saying that the entire, details of what is happening in their marital life. It's such a sad thing for me to watch, to have these two beautiful individuals who are, I mean, people have difficult lives, people have difficult relationships, but the whole world is watching this trial. And he was saying that this is a trend, this is trending, the the young people stuff, it is trending, and I'm not gonna so for me it was funny, and it was also very sad and emotional that these two people, probably both of them, sort of got a hit out of this relationship. They're both hurt. They probably, it must have been very difficult for them to, to have that marriage, to live that marriage, and then live without that marriage and get out of that marriage. And the woman who demanded millions of dollars as alimony, and well, I just don't. Then I decided to talk about it, because I think we don't have, I strongly feel like we don't have respect for relationships, and this, every one of us wants to have a very fulfilling and very what do you say, very happiness filled sexual life. But we don't make an effort to actually respect what this is, whether it is a spouse relationship, like it is a spouse relationship, I mean, whether it is a spouse relationship in terms of husband and wife, or whether it is girlfriend boyfriend, or anything, even a casual sex, even a one night stand, it requires our maturity and our respect and our privacy. I mean, there was this episode in regards to genetically evaluating that if the Palestinian people or the Jewish people, Israeli people, are genetically from this land of Israel. So to make the connection between land and the people living there. I mean, for me, I mean, just imagine for a second, you are a young man in your early 20s, or in your later 20s, or in 30s, whatever your age group, but you're young, under 35, let's say under 30, or under 40. Do we want our mothers or our fathers, our parents, to know about our intimate lives? Do we want them to know that with whom we had our one night stands with, or casual sexual relation? Casual sex is a term that obviously I don't know, and I definitely don't understand. But it's not like the concept that I don't understand necessarily is an evil concept, like satanic vibes. I actually asked my younger siblings about that to Hayat, if you're watching. So both my siblings were having milkshake, and I asked them, I want to ask you a very serious question. Do you receive any satanic vibes from me? Both of them literally they splashed their milkshake on on my eyeglasses, and they were laughing, and I just did that and said, is that mean yes? I mean, I mean, is that mean yes, you do receive satanic vibes? But they laughed it out, and they said, my brother actually said, I like this guy, whoever has said that you have satanic vibes. And he agrees that sometimes he does receive satanic vibes from me, just in case that. Well, but it's but like I said, I do not understand the concept of casual sex, but for some people it is meaningful, it means something, and it is special. They cherish it, they do it, and who am I to judge them? I mean, I should be the last person even commenting about, but there are certain things that people understand, people wrap their brains around, and there are certain things that they just simply don't understand. It Can I say it's cultural? Maybe. How I am raised, like, I mean, maybe I'm raised like that, maybe. But I have friends, and I know people who come from similar backgrounds as I am, but they're completely different people. They do have casual sex, and they find it quite amazing. For them, I think, and to be very honest, I'm 37, 38 years old. I don't have a functional relationship, and I doubt, like I have said before, it would be a miracle, literally a miracle, that I would find a shidduch. Because obviously I will convert to Judaism, and then I would probably have a Jewish marriage. Me finding a shidduch with the kind of background that I have, it's a bigger miracle than the splitting of the sea. It's not just that I say that, but it has some genuine background to it. It's not just that I am, I actually believe that that's never gonna happen. So yeah, there can be Jewish men who are interested in me in regards to having casual sex, or one night stands, or have a live-in relationship. But marriage, I don't think so. So that's why I do think that it is impossible for me to have a Jewish husband, and actually it is impossible for me to have a marriage. And the irony of the matter is that I do not understand the concept of casual sex. I think I did said once that I would have a one night stand with someone. I would not like to mention whom, but that in itself is a very unkosher thing to say. But yeah, unkosher thing to say and think about. But yeah, but funnily, jokingly, one can say that. But yeah, in reality, I want a marriage, which I can't have, I think. So yeah, so it's like, how would I feel? Okay, I can't have casual sex, but just in case, if I was that kind of a person, or if anyone who is in their 30s, 20s, or whatever, has casual sex, has one night stands, has this irresponsible. I mean, it's just sex. It's no commitment, no long term, nothing. It's just, it's just one time thing, and then I don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen from you or talk to you, or yeah, it's just that. Or a casual sex from friends who are just friends, but you don't want to have a relationship with them, so you just sleep with them for convenience sake or whatever. Would you like your mother to know about this? Would you like your mother to know that how many girls that you had one night stands with? Or if you are a woman, as a girl, would you like your mother or your father to know how many boys you fucked with, or you slept with, or there is this friend of yours that you usually have casual sex with? Would you like your mother's or your parents, with your father, if you're a guy, would you like your father to know the details of how many girls you slept with, or anything in that sort? No, or would you like your mother and your father, either you're a girl or a boy, to know that you had sex with somebody, and that somebody got pregnant or something, and then you get the kid, the baby aborted? Obviously not. Most people who have a very, respective, respect oriented, and very, that sort of a relationship with their parents, they would not like their parents to know about their sex life. And on Sulha, there was this guy who was advocating that, there is this, and not advocating, he was just explaining that, to make the connection between who originated from this land of Eretz Israel, DNA testing should be. So we don't want our parents, our very parents, to know that what's happening in our sex life, in our love life, but we have the audacity to take our DNA to this DNA testing whatever institute to find out where our ancestry and our whole DNA originated, and trace out the, that if it's 20% Chinese, or 20% Pakistani, or 20% Arab, or 30% American, or whatever, or African, 30% African. You want to trace out your ancestors' sex life so that you would find out that what is your DNA. I mean, look at how, and I was like, it is just sad, and it's funny, and it's ironic that we're such paradoxical people. And watching this trial between these two celebrities that the whole world apparently is hooked up at, and it's a trending thing. I mean, it's just, for me, it's like, okay, they're showbiz people, and their thing is to, grab attention and whatever, and this for them is one way to get attention and whatever. But even then, I mean, we, the people who are watching this, how disrespectful we are to these intimate moments, whether it is even one night stands or casual sex. Even then, sex itself has its sacredness, has its, privacy, has its, it reminds me of this person. I don't know if I should mention, but this person, and I asked this person that, how is it like to have a honeymoon on the Burning Man? And so this person says, yeah, it's fun. Burning Man is fun, but it's not intimate. That was a very powerful thing, and I was like into a very different zone, that I would go I would go with my significant other, the guy that I would want to get married, or my husband if I'm already married, and I would go to this Burning Man, and if he's truly my soulmate, after attending Burning Man, he would still be with me, or he would just get lost in this Burning Man thing, and I will know that I have married somebody wrong. And then I say, honey, we should get a divorce right now. But or you just leave, find yourself your soulmate. But I think that person was very, very sensitive towards intimacy, towards these things, towards this closeness, and that was very inspiring and lovely to see. That, and I think that's very, very important, that we must respect this whole thing, this sexual, even identities, whoever. I mean, I personally don't want to know. Okay, the guy that I am interested in, it would be nice to know if he is straight. If he is gay, I would say, okay, fine, you're gay, I will not talk. I mean, I will not bother you again. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's about it. It's not like that, okay, I like this guy and it turns out to be gay, and now I'm gonna judge him. Okay, he's gay, and you're not, and you don't understand, I don't understand it. Okay, fine, let's just, I mean, there's so many people, there are 8-9 billion people in this world, and yes, we get curious and inspired, and we just meet, and we live in the kind of generation where we have the opportunity to meet diverse people, and we get impressed, and we want to share our lives with them and get intimate with them. But yeah, I mean, people will accept you and people will reject you, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. um, we still should have respect for people's sexual identities and their sexual lives, and not just people that, but our ancestors also. That's why I'm totally against getting DNA testing and all that, because this sexual intimacy, this closeness requires respect. So I will talk about other things that I learned through that podcast, but I wanted to start with this very, very important point, that sex, that the very act of it should have respect. People who engage in this kind of intimacy, in that kind of relationship, should have not only a respect for that person that they shared these very intimate, up close, personal, and sexual moments with, but also the very act of sex needs our respect, needs our sensitivity, our responsibility, our consciousness, that even if you're having casual sex with no commitment, even then you should have respect for the person that who provided you with such, I will not call it pleasure, because that would not be the fitting word for it, but that experience. This is experience. This is you live your life. You live the precious moments of your life with someone, even if in your mind it means nothing, it's just a one night stand, it's just even then, that woman, even a prostitute, deserves huge amount of respect, that she took money, and you can talk whatever thing, whatever, but you don't know what's her life or what's her situation, that she has come down to this point, that she's selling, she's so she's doing this. And some people do it out of their own consent, and they love it. To understand, I mean, people don't have to understand where they're coming from, why they love having sex with random people, but whatever that is, you are the person who went to this prostitute, and so she deserves that. She gave you something which you needed so desperately, or that made you happy, or whatever it. Have respect for even a prostitute, for a one night stand, for a casual have respect for. And marriage, oh my god, marriage is, I mean, it's just so, it needs a respect, and to another level. So I wanted to say that we do not give the due respect to our sexual orientations, our sexual preferences, the very act of sex. We don't even respect the other person, but we don't respect our own selves, our own sexuality, our own. It is very, very important, and we should respect our ancestor also before deciding to get a DNA test. Respect people's privacy, what they have. I was once, when I had a crush on that guy from the Muslim Jewish conference in Ukraine. Many of the people would, to put me off from this guy and say that, this Jewish guy is disgusting. Why do you even have a crush on him? They would say he has slept with so many girls. And I used to say, in a life that I was not part of, if he made choices in sleeping with her, it's his prerogative. You don't dictate people's life. I mean, you especially cannot dictate people's intimate lives. It's their choices. It's the choice of that person and the other person. And whatever happens between those two people should remain there between them and Hashem. A third person have no right to comment or even think about or even ask about it. For me, I mean, even if I wish all those people who have this up close and intimate relationship, I just wish for them to find their soulmates and get married. I think I should want, I mean, I would want it for every other person on this planet to find their soulmate and have have a marriage. I, yeah, even even if I am expired for the whole saying of marriage and everything, I think I want it for every other person on this planet, Gentile or Jew. Everyone should be with their soulmate in a marital relationship and sort of feel good about themselves and have simcha, have joy of life. It's such a beautiful thing. And for me, it was very, very sad to see this person who was transgender talking about sexuality in a in not a very good way. And I was really, it affected me very negatively. And I must say I was missing my previous rabbi, because I don't know, his teaching, his Torah actually made me fall in love with my femininity, my womanhood, my, yeah, I can say that Torah and my previous rabbi actually made me feel so happy that I'm a woman. It mended my relationship with Hashem. It strengthened my relationship with Hashem. I love being a woman now. I love being who I am. And Baruch Hashem for who I am. And yeah, and I wish everyone to find happiness, true happiness in their sex life, and find their soulmate, and find a way to be happy in marriage, in their marriages. And if they're not married, then just have a marriage, be with your soulmate. And if you're not with you were with your soulmate and chas v'shalom they died or whatever the case, just even then have a good fulfilling life. And I would talk about other topics in relationship to that podcast, just in case if anyone, I'm not going to put in the link in the description box, mainly for the reason that it disturbed my mental balance and my clarity and gave me a lot of negative thoughts on many levels. So I'm not going to put that, but just in case if anyone wants to still want to watch that podcast, I would mention it. It is called Moru, that is MOORO, Moru, that is the channel. And the podcast is about Muhammad Moise, or Moise is MOIZ, or you can Google it with Moru Mehrab, MEHRUB, Mehrab Moise. So you can Google it, you can search it on the YouTube thing. It's on YouTube. Check it out if you want to check out. And I'll talk about different topics in regards to that conversation. And I hope you guys like it and see it in a different light. Thank you.